4 tests men secretly give women. Don't fail these. Let me start with something many women eventually discover, usually later than they wish they had. Men test women. Not always consciously, not always in a manipulative way, but quietly, consistently, and often very early. And the uncomfortable truth is this: most women don't even realize the test is happening until after they've already failed it. They think the man suddenly lost interest. They think he changed. They think he got bored. But in many cases, he simply learned something about her, something that told him whether she was someone he could respect, trust, build with, or slowly lose attraction to. Now, before anyone gets defensive, let's be mature about this for a moment. Women test men too, all the time. You test his confidence. You test his patience. You test whether he can lead, whether he's emotionally stable, whether he collapses under pressure. So today, we're going to talk honestly about 4 tests men quietly give women, tests that reveal far more than most women realize. And if you understand these, you start seeing dating and relationships very differently. Let's start with the first one. Test number 1, the drama test. A man is quietly watching how you handle emotional discomfort, not when everything is easy, not when you're getting your way, but when something doesn't go how you wanted. Maybe he's busy one evening. Maybe he disagrees with you. Maybe he sets a boundary. And suddenly, many women unknowingly reveal something important. They escalate emotionally. They accuse. They create unnecessary tension. Now, here's what a mature man notices in that moment. He asks himself, is this a woman who brings peace into my life or emotional chaos? Because men, especially emotionally mature men, don't want to spend their lives constantly managing emotional storms. The rare woman passes this test by doing something very simple, but very powerful. She communicates instead of reacting. She stays grounded. She expresses her feelings clearly without turning everything into conflict. And that tells a man something deeply attractive. This woman brings stability, not stress. Now, the second test is even more revealing. Test number 2, the attention test. Many men quietly observe how a woman behaves when she receives attention from other men, not because they want to control her, but because it reveals something about her character and boundaries. Some women thrive on constant validation. They flirt openly with everyone. They entertain every compliment. They enjoy the competition for their attention. And here's the truth many women misunderstand. A man may still desire a woman like that, but deep down, he rarely trusts her. The woman who passes this test isn't cold or arrogant. She simply carries herself with quiet dignity. She doesn't need every room's approval. She doesn't perform for male attention. And that creates a very different kind of attraction. Because when a man sees that she chooses where her attention goes, instead of collecting it everywhere, he sees a woman who understands her own value. The third test is one many women fail without realizing it. Test number 3, the respect test. A man is quietly observing how you treat him when you're upset. This is one of the biggest indicators of long-term compatibility, because anyone can be kind when they're happy. But what happens when you're frustrated? Do you insult him? Do you mock him? Do you attack his character? Many women think arguments are just arguments, but men experience something deeper in those moments. They ask themselves, does this woman respect me, even when she's angry? Because without respect, attraction slowly erodes. The woman who passes this test doesn't avoid disagreement. She simply keeps her dignity and his dignity intact during conflict. She addresses problems without humiliating him. And believe it or not, that alone separates a mature woman from most people in modern dating. Now, the fourth test is the quietest one of all, and it might surprise you. Test number 4, the independence test. A man notices whether a woman has a life outside of him. Not a life full of distractions, but a life full of identity. Her own interests, her own friendships, her own direction. Because here's something mature men understand. A relationship should add to your life, not become the entire center of it. Some women unintentionally fail this test when they start revolving their entire emotional world around the man. Constant texting, constant reassurance, constant need for validation. At first, it can feel flattering, but over time, it creates pressure. The woman who passes this test feels different. She enjoys his presence, but she doesn't cling to it. She's emotionally connected, yet still grounded in her own world. And ironically, that independence makes her far more attractive, because it signals something powerful. She is choosing him, not depending on him to complete her. And here's the deeper truth behind all these tests. They're not really about proving yourself. They're about revealing who you already are. Mature men are not looking for perfection. They're looking for emotional maturity, stability, self-respect, character. And when a woman carries those qualities naturally, she doesn't need to pass tests. She simply stands out.